Denny's, the beloved American diner chain, is facing a difficult reality. For decades, it has been a go-to spot for people seeking a warm meal at any hour of the day or night. Known for its always-open availability and hearty comfort food, Denny's has served countless customers with its signature dishes, from pancakes to burgers. The restaurant has been a staple for late-night eaters, road trippers, and anyone seeking a familiar, affordable meal. But times are changing, and the landscape of the dining industry is shifting. Denny's has recently announced the closure of dozens of its locations. This move has shocked many, as these diners have been community fixtures for years. This news has sent ripples of concern through the industry and left many loyal customers wondering about the fate of their favorite diner. The closures have sparked conversations about the future of dining. Denny's is not alone in facing these challenges. Many other chains are also struggling to keep their doors open. The restaurant industry is constantly evolving. New technologies and changing consumer preferences are reshaping how we dine out. Chains must adapt to survive. Innovations like delivery services, food trucks, and self-service kiosks are becoming more prevalent. Consumer tastes are changing and the cost of doing business continues to rise. Supply chain issues and increasing grocery prices add to the pressure. In this climate, even iconic brands like Denny's must confront difficult choices. The decision to close locations is a reflection of these broader economic challenges. The company's decision to close dozens of its restaurants is a sign of the times. It highlights the need for adaptation in a rapidly changing market. It reflects the pressures facing the industry as a whole. The economic downturn and changing consumer habits are forcing many to rethink their strategies. But what are the specific reasons behind these closures? Analysts point to a combination of factors, including rising costs and shifting consumer preferences. And what does this mean for the future of Denny's? The company will need to innovate and adapt to stay relevant in an ever-changing market. The numbers tell a stark story. The restaurant industry is facing unprecedented challenges, and the data reflects a grim reality for many beloved dining establishments. Denny's plans to close between 70 and 90 locations in 2025. This decision comes as part of a broader strategy to streamline operations and cut costs, in response to declining sales and rising expenses. This follows the shuttering of at least 88 restaurants in 2024. The trend of closures has been accelerating, with more locations becoming unviable due to changing consumer habits and economic pressures. By the end of 2025, nearly 200 Denny's locations will have disappeared. This significant reduction highlights the challenges faced by the chain in maintaining its extensive network of restaurants. This represents a significant portion of the company's portfolio. The closures are a stark reminder of the difficulties in the current economic climate, where even established brands are struggling to stay afloat. There are approximately 1,300 Denny's restaurants currently operating in the United States. However, with the planned closures, the landscape of the brand will be markedly different. The closures represent a shrinking footprint for the once ubiquitous diner chain. The reduction in locations will inevitably affect the brand's visibility and accessibility to its loyal customer base. While the remaining locations will continue to serve customers, the brand's presence will be undeniably diminished. The impact on local communities and the overall market presence of Denny's will be profound. These closures are not merely a matter of numbers. Each shuttered location tells a story of economic hardship and changing consumer preferences. Behind each closed restaurant are employees who have lost their jobs, facing an uncertain future in an already challenging job market. Regular customers who have lost a familiar gathering place, a spot where memories were made and friendships were nurtured, and communities that have lost a part of their identity. The local diner often serves as a social hub, and its absence leaves a void that is hard to fill. The impact of Denny's closures is far-reaching. It extends beyond the immediate loss of jobs and revenue, affecting the social fabric of the communities they once served. It speaks to broader challenges within the restaurant industry and the evolving landscape of American dining. The future of dining is changing and businesses must adapt to survive. One of the primary drivers behind Denny's closures is financial pressure. Many of the affected restaurants are facing expiring leases. Renewing these leases often comes with significant rent increases. This puts a strain on restaurant owners already operating on thin margins. In addition to lease renewals, many Denny's locations are in need of costly renovations. Outdated kitchens, worn-out dining areas, and aging infrastructure all require significant investment. For some franchisees, the cost of these renovations is simply too high. They are choosing to close their doors rather than take on the financial burden. The restaurant industry is notoriously competitive. Keeping up with the demands of the market requires constant investment. For Denny's, the cost of maintaining and upgrading its aging restaurants has become a significant hurdle. The company is facing a difficult choice: invest heavily in its existing locations or scale back its operations. Beyond financial pressures, Denny's is also grappling with a shifting consumer landscape. Consumer tastes are evolving. There is a growing demand for healthier, more diverse dining options. Denny's, with its focus on traditional American diner fare, has struggled to keep pace. The chain's menu, while still popular with a segment of the population, may not hold the same appeal for younger generations, or those seeking lighter, more health-conscious options. Furthermore, the rise of delivery apps and the increasing popularity of fast casual dining have presented new challenges. Denny's, traditionally a dine-in experience, must now compete with a growing number of restaurants offering convenient takeout and delivery options. Adapting to these changing market dynamics is crucial for any restaurant chain hoping to thrive in the long term. Section 5. A second life for Denny's diners? Remodeling efforts and their mixed results. In an attempt to revitalize its brand and attract new customers, Denny's has undertaken remodeling efforts in recent years. Some locations have undergone renovations to update their interiors, modernize their menus, and enhance the overall dining experience. These efforts have had mixed results. While some remodeled locations have seen an uptick in customer traffic, others have struggled to attract new diners. The cost of these renovations has also been a concern. Denny's has completed a relatively small number of remodels each year due to the financial investment required. The challenge for Denny's is to find a remodeling strategy that is both effective and financially sustainable. The company must balance the need to modernize its restaurants with the cost of these upgrades. Finding the right balance is crucial for Denny's to remain competitive in the long term. Section 6. Domino's and TGI Fridays, when familiar brands struggle to adapt. Denny's is not alone in facing these challenges. The once popular diner chain has seen a significant decline in foot traffic and sales, struggling to keep up with the fast-paced changes in the dining industry. Other familiar restaurant chains have also struggled to adapt to changing market dynamics. The shift towards online food delivery services and the rise of fast casual dining options have left many traditional chains scrambling to stay relevant. Domino's Pizza, for example, recently announced the closure of over 200 international locations, primarily in Japan. This move highlights the difficulties even globally recognized brands face in maintaining their market position. The company cited shifting consumer habits and increased competition as factors in the decision. With more people opting for the convenience of online ordering and delivery, traditional dine-in experiences are becoming less popular. TGI Fridays, another well-known casual dining chain, has also faced difficulties. The brand, once synonymous with casual American dining, is now struggling to attract the modern diner. The company closed 49 U.S. locations last year and is reportedly considering filing for bankruptcy. This is a stark reminder of how even established names are not immune to market pressures. TGI Fridays has struggled to keep pace with newer, more innovative dining concepts. The rise of trendy eateries offering unique culinary experiences has made it difficult for older chains to compete. It has also been impacted by the decline of mall traffic, as many of its restaurants are located in shopping malls. With fewer people visiting malls, these locations have seen a drop in customers. These examples illustrate the challenges facing established restaurant chains in today's market. The landscape is rapidly evolving, and those who fail to adapt risk being left behind. Adapting to evolving consumer tastes, embracing new technologies, and finding ways to differentiate themselves from the competition are essential for survival. The future of dining will belong to those who can innovate and meet the changing demands of their customers. Section 7. An uncertain future. What lies ahead for Denny's? The future of Denny's remains uncertain. The company's decision to close dozens of locations is a sign of the challenges it faces. However, it is also a strategic move to streamline operations and focus on its most profitable markets. Denny's still has a loyal customer base. Its brand recognition remains strong, The company's focus on affordability and convenience continues to resonate with a segment of the population. However, Denny's must find ways to attract new customers, particularly younger generations, to ensure its long-term viability. The company's success will depend on its ability to adapt to changing consumer preferences, embrace new technologies, and create a dining experience that is relevant to today's consumers. Section 8. The human cost of closures. Employees and communities impacted. While the financial and strategic implications of Denny's closures are significant, it is important to acknowledge the human cost. Behind each closed restaurant are employees who have lost their jobs and livelihoods. These closures also impact the communities where these restaurants are located. Denny's has long been a gathering place for families, friends, and late-night diners. The loss of these restaurants leaves a void in these communities. The closure of chain restaurants is often seen as a symptom of broader economic challenges. It can be a sign of a struggling local economy or a shift in consumer spending habits. The impact of these closures is felt most acutely by those who rely on these businesses for employment and by the communities that depend on them for their social fabric. Section 9. Conclusion. Farewell to an American icon. The closure of dozens of Denny's locations marks the end of an era for the iconic American diner chain. Once a ubiquitous presence across the country, Denny's is now facing the realities of a changing restaurant industry. While the future of Denny's is uncertain, the company's legacy as a purveyor of affordable comfort food and a late-night refuge will not be forgotten. Whether Denny's can adapt to the demands of today's market and regain its footing remains to be seen. However, the challenges facing the chain serve as a reminder of the evolving nature of the restaurant industry and the importance of adaptation in the face of change.